Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Cherry Mark. Thanks for joining me tonight and thanks for being part of this channel. And yeah, welcome to the Kikuyu channel, and I hope you're doing fine. I hope everything is good wherever you are. Yeah, today I am prepared for a lesson that we had the previous time, and it's a continuation of what we learned, and the topic is Kikuyu circumcision or Irua. We said Irua is circumcision, and we're going to go back to that topic because it's a very extensive very extensive topic, and I feel there is a need to let people know about Irua and circumcision in the Kikuyu culture, and that's what I'm going to go through this lesson. So I hope wherever you are comfortable. Take your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, your cup of drink, cold water, warm water, or even some whatever wine, I don't know, whatever you drink. Get yourself comfortable and let's get started. We are going to look at circumcision, what was done there, how it was performed, what it meant, and a few details about circumcision. Irua in other words, or Irua in Kikuyu. Now, we're going to start, and I remember last time I said Irua means circumcision. Irua is a process where Kikuyu boys and girls became adults. We said both boys and girls passed through the initiation rite or went through circumcision. Now, several boys are circumcised at once, and each set of initiates, mwanake are those initiates or the boys to be circumcised, is considered to be a district, which is also called Rika, a district or an age set. Actually, the good name is age set, which is called Rika. Each Rika is given a group name, and its members treat each other as brothers for life and fight together in the battle. Now, traditionally, a boy who went under circumcision became mwanake, or boys who went under circumcision became anake. Anake, that is after the circumcision. Mwanake is one, anake is a group of boys or a group of young men who had already passed through the initiation or even the circumcision, to be very precise. Now, we have seen that group, that age set of anake was called Rika, and it is what grew together or grew up to be a group of brothers who were held together to help each other in life, to also fight through the battle. And we have seen that initiation was passed through, initiation was performed in boys and girls, but we said girls initiation or girls circumcision is no longer practiced. It is highly discouraged in our 21st century, and I'm going to come back to that. So let's continue. The ritual involves teaching in all spheres of life, including family relations, courtship, self-control, politics, tribal secrets, etc. They also involved other things, also like morality, manhood, or even womanhood, which came along with female circumcision. But that one, we say it's for now, it's no longer done. Now, it is said that initiation in girls is a bad thing, certainly physically, because it takes away a good deal of the pleasure a woman might experience in sexual relations. It can also make childbirth dangerous, even fatal, and thus it's no longer practiced. I think I've repeated this so many times. I repeat it. I keep repeating it once again and again. Now, a boy could not also cry out or shiver, which is koinaina. Koinaina negwoya, kushiver. It's like being afraid or to freak out. Koinaina negwoya. In 1807, a boy or boys shivered during circumcision, and that was recorded by naming that Rika Wainaina. That Rika, that age set, that shivered during the circumcision period of 1807 was named Wainaina, which we said Wainaina means shivering. Koinaina, that is like when you're freaking out, you are afraid, you are panicking and all that. So the grandchildren of those boys were consequently called Wainaina, and the name, just like all male names, entered into Kikuyu naming system. You see? Now, the parents are refrained from referring to the boys or the girls, or specifically the boys or the initiates, by pet names, e.g. boy, daddy, mwagiwa, mom, and so on and so forth. So we see initiation or circumcision highly forbids the parents or the moms or the sisters to calling their brothers, or I don't know, their relatives, those who are supposed to undergo the initiation or circumcision, from giving them pet names. We have seen it was forbidden, which I think it does make sense, because through that process the person becomes an adult. So why would you give the person a pet name like Dadiwa Mom or boy? It doesn't make any sense. Now, Muma wa Kirore was a signed oath by PCA members. One of the concept of this oath was to reject female circumcision. We have talked again and again, I have said again and again, female circumcision is no longer practiced. And now we even come along this story where we find out Mumawa Kirore was a signed oath by PCEA members. PCEA is a certain evangelical church. So this signed an oath that rejected female circumcision. Now, after the initiation, the young man moves into a Dhigira. Dhigira is a place or a hut where the young man who has already undergone circumcision moves into. It is called Dhigira. Now, let's repeat this. After the after the initiation, the young man moves into a Vigira, which is a male's hut. No woman is allowed, or no tampering. This also, no woman is allowed into this Vingira. That you have to note very careful. And after that moving into the Vingira, or that male's or that young man's heart, that marks the beginning of not tampering into his mom's house, or even in the sleeping area of his mom. So the young man, we're now talking about the young man. The young man is forbidden from tampering into the mother's house. The moment he moves into this Vingira, and the Vingira was built outside the main house, or outside the parents' house. So that was to mark another new beginning of an adulthood life, and this applied to the boys, not the girls. So we see the girls didn't have a Vingira. The Vingira, or the hut, was meant for the boys or the young men. And after that was done, the boy could not, like he used to do before he was a boy. So he would go inside the mom's house, the mom's bedroom, just move around the house. But after he moved to his Vingira after the circumcision, that was strictly forbidden. This I have seen, and I have also prophesied. I have witnessed with my relatives who underwent the circumcision, and it is real. This also happens now. I think some of these young men who have done this initiation, especially in the rural areas, I don't know, in the urban areas, it could be quite difficult because people do not have their own houses and all that. So those who live in the rural areas, after a boy is circumcised, he is moved to a new house, a new place. Like before, it was called a Vingira. Nowadays, it could be just a build structure, a temporary structure. It could also be a permanent structure, depending on the finances of the family. So in this Vingira, there were no women that were permitted to get inside there unless you are married or the man was to marry you. And this is most probably later on, after some years, after the young man have already gained more experience. So let's go ahead. Now, nowadays, we're going to look at an example of how circumcision is performed in Kenya, and specifically facing Mount Kenya. Every year there is this circumcision event that is performed in Kenya for the boys that are supposed to become men, and it is done for those it is done in the area near Mount Kenya. So we call that circumcision facing Mount Kenya. I'm going to give an example of how it went. How does this event looks like? The schedule, what happens there, what is done, who is there in this event. I'm just going to go through very few details about this circumcision event in Mount Kenya, or facing Mount Kenya. Now, parents apply for their sons to be accommodated in the ritual of circumcision facing Mount Kenya. The boys enter as, okay, the initiates, or the young boys enter as boys and leave as men. That means they enter that place. It's like a camp. They enter as boys and leave as men. Now, the ages of this the ages of the boys that are initiated in that camp facing Mount Kenya range between 13 and 15. The boys are handed to doctors and elders by either their fathers, uncles, or a man from the village, or even previous age groups, which we said are called Rika. That means someone from Rika, the previous Rika would hand over the new boy to become a man in that camp where they are circumcised. This is to dignify a fatherly figure in the society and maintain male privacy. Remember, this is it's a male thing. This is nothing to do with women. This is specifically male stuff, specifically done for the men. So there is this privacy that is supposed to be maintained there. And that's why I also mentioned before, in the Vingira, there are no women allowed inside there. So even during the circumcision, even during that event where the boys are undergo through the knife, women are not allowed to be near that place. It's a male thing. So let's go ahead. It takes a duration of 14 days, which is literally a bit long, but there is a purpose for these 14 days. Now, no woman is allowed to move closer or have sight of the ritual until the boys recover. I said that before. So these young men are imparted with knowledge and skills in various aspects of life. These lessons involve slaughtering of a sheep for ceremonial sacrificial purposes, and how to greet their mother, father, grandparents, and peer groups, like their own peer groups. The recurs from the previous year, from the other years, and older years also. As they go through this rite of passage, they had to endure pain and cold in the forest where temperatures were low. It is said that in this camp where Mount Kenya, it's just near Mount Kenya, it's very cold. You can imagine Mount Kenya is a snowy mountain, so you can imagine how cold the place is. And it was done purposely for them to endure pain, and also because of the cold, so that they can show how strong they are. It was, I think it is deliberately, or it has a purpose for that, because it marks also that it marks the power of the man. You have to endure pain. You must be strong. You must overcome. You cannot go there with a light heart. You have to be a very, very, very strong man. Like, you have to have a very hardcore character, or a hardcore art of living. Now, so we are going to go ahead and we're going to see how the ceremony of circumcision looked like. How was it done? After the boys underwent the knife, what happened? Because after the ceremony of circumcision, there came this festive season. It was a festivity where people or women were invited, families were invited, or are invited to celebrate the boys who have become men. Even the society celebrated. We say it's a big celebration, and it's very, very, very common in the Kikuyu culture. So now the ceremony after Irua was celebrated or is celebrated with Kikuyu songs and dances. Women entertain the new adults. A senior elder referred to Muthamaki, who is a king in other words or in Kikuyu, leads the attendants in traditional prayers which involve facing Mount Kenya, where Kikuyu community believes their gods lived. All facing Mount Kenya, men and boys lift their hands up. The women just follow quietly. Nonetheless, they all keep on reciting Thy, Thaya Gai, Thy, Thy, Thaya Gai, Thy. They just lift their hands. They keep reciting that as they face Mount Kenya, where it is believed that the Kikuyu God lived. Now, which also translated in Kikuyu meant, may God's peace prevail. That's the meaning of Thy, Thaya Gai, Thy. Now, we have new warriors in our community. May God of our forefathers and God of Kikuyu and Mombi bless them and give them energy to defend the community and its property. The senior leader quotes. The senior leader who leads the event or the festivity quotes that he is happy of the new members of the new warriors in the community. Now, last year, which was the previous year, the group of boys who underwent the ritual were named Mweyuro, which is flood, which means a flood or a flood, flooding. Mweyuro age set. That was the previous age set that came for circumcision. That year, this year, Kwemenya age set. This year, Kwemenya age set is the one that, or that year, that specific year where the circumcision was done, it was the turn for Kwemenya age set, which is translated as cognition. Cognition is Kwemenya, recognizing yourself, Kwemenya. Kimwenya or Kwemenya age set. And all this taken by the boys of keeping away from criminal activities. After they are circumcised or after that initiation, there is that event. And since they have become warriors, new members of the society, they have to take an oath. The boys, the young men, the anake that have become young men of the society, they have to take an oath. This is like to promise the society, even the leaders or the chiefs, the elders of that community, so as to keep away from criminal actions, like criminal activities. In the festive event, the leader may offer a sheep which are slaughtered, or may offer sheep which are slaughtered at the camp and feasted on by young men. In the 21st century, initiation is mostly done in hospitals. That means the boys that we have now in our day-to-day life, or the young men, they no longer get circumcision at home or facing Mount Kenya or going under the river. You know, there are some stories I hear about circumcision of men that was done on rivers in a cold morning or an evening on rivers. That is no longer the case. The modern parent today, we are talking of the 21st century parent, takes his boy or his young man to circumcision in hospital. So that binds the whole circumcision ceremony, how the event looked like after circumcision, and basically everything that I could have covered concerning circumcision in both men and women. And this the whole information basically covers more on the male circumcision, or Irua in boys, or Irua in men, young men. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to talk much. I want to end this video right away. I am very much grateful that you got your time today to watch this lesson, to even be part of this channel. I am so grateful. I'm happy for you, and I'm also happy for us. Thank you. Keep supporting this channel. Keep subscribing. Don't forget to share, to like, and even to comment down there. If you have any question, any comment, feel free. Use that comment section. Type anything you want, anything that comes in your mind. Let me know. Let's communicate. Let's both be active. Let's get to know each other through that comment section area. And yeah, don't hesitate. Write your comment down there. Write your question. Maybe I might have the answers, or maybe not. I will find or research on the answers. Thank you again so much. Wherever you are, have a beautiful evening, have a good night, and a beautiful and a blessed week ahead. Goodbye.